Sun in Cancer is all about the home. It is about creating a foundation, making sure that the ground you are in is strong. And often that ground is found within your own self. Now, Cancerian energy is one that expresses a lot of movement. It's a water sign. And I think about the moon, right? The moon's phases are always changing, the moon being the ruling planet of the sign of Cancer. And as such, there's a certain fluidity here to the emotions. Now, it's said that Cancers can change their emotions, have emotional reactions sort of out of nowhere. But like the moon, feelings tend to be building for a while. They tend to be a long time coming in some cases as well. And a big part of the life path, sort of the sacred journey of the Cancerian, is to move from the lower manifestation, which just has to do with sort of having these emotional outbursts sometimes, really, but these emotional reactions, feeling super sensitive, having the opinions of others really have a very powerful effect on the person, where they start to, like, their moods really can be dependent on how other people are reacting to them, and elevate that energy so that they can transform that sensitivity into an expression that helps them to feel proud of who they are and helps them to feel a sense of self-knowledge as well. There's another layer of this that has to do with the emotions, and a big part of how Cancerians develop their very powerful intuition over this life is to learn to slowly but surely separate what it is that they are feeling, the instincts that they're having, the intuitions they're having, from fear. Is it fear that's determining what you see? If you're having a certain intuition, is it your own fear that's guiding you, or is it something more genuine, a message that's trying to come forward, that's trying to give you hints into which direction things are going, whether you're in the moment, whether you're meeting new people, or whether you're doing your work, whatever the case may be? How is your intuition going to be utilized to your advantage? How is your intuition going to be utilized as a source of wisdom that is plugged into a higher wisdom? And where is it that it actually is just your own fears that are guiding the reactions that you're having? The emotions are so powerful, and ultimately they are a great gift, but it takes a lot of responsibility to navigate them as well. One way that emotions can be successfully navigated is by creating safe structures around, creating a sense of security around. So creating a home that really feels comfortable becomes important, an important part of the journey here. I also think about how with Cancerian energy, there's a connection to food as well. So a need to eat well becomes emphasized here, and to eat foods and nourish themselves becomes really important as well over the course of this life, and just what that means. I also think with the Cancerian energy, there tends to be a need to create security in terms of the people that you surround yourself with, creating strong, almost family-like connections to others. And so a part of the learning here has to do with understanding when you are growing beyond a connection that you may have, not just hanging on to a connection because there's history there, but actually keeping a connection because it is relevant to where you are now, and recognizing where a connection, not just about being relevant, but is it healthy? Is it healthy? Does it help you? And a big way that Cancers really find that center, they find their light, is on their own. It is by closing the door and spending time in their fortress of solitude, as I like to call it, to borrow the Superman metaphor. When Superman would be having all these like sort of earthly experiences that started to feel really overwhelming, he would take off to his fortress of solitude. Is part of the Superman mythos, and it always makes me think of Cancer. I mean, Superman is such a strong Cancerian archetype, because he's all about like sort of home and tradition and family and culture. And then he's got these really strong like sort of connections with parents, and trying to figure out the role that his parents are playing in his life as well. And normally Cancerian energy, it's a little bit different with Superman because it's really a strong bond. The father represents his higher self in this whole mythos, and the voice of his father guiding him, his birth father, becomes the part of the mythos. But For Cancers, it's the sign of the mom. So there tends to be a really interesting connection with the mom, a connection that isn't always very easy to let go of, a connection that can feel really strong, especially in early life, that also needs to be understood and evolved as well. That relationship and what it's going to mean to that Cancer as a child and also as an adult has to go through an evolution if that energy is going to evolve as well. So Superman, when the world starts getting to be too much and he doesn't know which way to go, he takes off up north somewhere really cold where his fortress of solitude is and nobody else is around. And I guess you can't really see it on a satellite map or something, but he goes there and he speaks to the energy of his father, as I said, the voice of his higher self, and he needs to be sort of away from everything in order to connect to that higher wisdom. And so it is with Cancers as well. They need to be able to shut that door, to have that space to veg out, if you will, in order to fully understand what it is that they are feeling. And from that clear understanding and from that process, that is a huge part of their methodology towards understanding what it is that is arising out of wisdom and what it is that is arising out of fear. When they start tapping into the wisdom more and quicker, that is when they come to a newfound sense of self, a sense of self-respect, and a sense of consistency within their own heart and spirit. Well, thank you so much for watching this Synchronicity University video. Until we connect again, take care. Thank you for watching this lesson as part of Synchronicity University. You can go online at synchronicityuniversity.com or click on your screen if you're on YouTube right now to access even more video lessons, to access horoscopes, interviews with some of the most amazing astrologers in the world, and so much more.